What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector. No BS, no holds ball sports talk show is back in the building. I'm back again with my man, Mr. Unregulated. We are back at it again. Same old stuff, different day, y'all. I'm just saying. Look, the number to call today is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be that number to call. So I want you guys to call in, comment, do all that great stuff. Make sure you also share the show as well. Share it everywhere so that way everybody could see what we're doing. And I want you guys to really pay attention to what we about to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, some unprecedented events have occurred. It's unregulated. We just gonna jump right into it. It was bad. Last week was an interesting week of football. So some of the headlines, I don't know if any of y'all know, but unfortunately, the New England Patriots got dusted by the Detroit Lions 26-10, and then fortunately for you, your Redskins beat the brakes off of Aaron Rodgers 31-17. Mr. Unregulated, what did you see that I did not see?
Well, when it pertains to the Redskins game, I don't see. I mean, a win is a win, but I am not satisfied in the least bit. What I saw from our defensive line was just horrible. I know we have the rookie Deron Payne. I mean, every time the runs are running right past him. Running backs are just running right past him. His back is turned.
Yep.
Often when the play is coming right to his side, the pass rush on the outside is just not getting there, and I don't know what they need to do.
Right.
Maybe they need to send a linebacker in on blitz a linebacker so that so that the outsides can't be double teamed. But there's definitely some work that needs to be done on that defensive line. As far as the offense looked pretty good to me. They took some chances downfield. Special teams, I'm still waiting on that. I haven't seen anything to be excited about special teams. And as far as the Patriots go, I said this week 1. This is the year that the Patriots are going to need to look to start to rebuild. They're 1-2. They'll be 1-3 after this weekend, after going up against those mighty Miami Dolphins.
See, this is where you and I have to disagree, because the last time they had back-to-back losses, they went on and they went on to the AFC Championship, and that was back in 2015. The only difference is back then, I will say this. The losses back then were closer games. These past 2 games, they got dog smashed.
Yeah.
And I know what the problem is. The problem is, and I've seen this with this team, is that the offensive line, they're clearly not blocking because Brady was getting killed in these past 2 games. And, I mean, yes, he was still able to throw touchdowns because he's still Tom Brady. It's not like he's not a good quarterback, but it's just that you can't really throw anywhere if you don't have if you have a lineman all in your face. Not to mention the defense, they just couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't stop the run. I mean, the fact that Kenyon Johnson had 101 yards in that game on only 16 carries, and that was their first 100-yard rusher in almost 20 games. That's saying something.
Wow. Yeah. So Shane, tell me, what is the difference between last year or the years past and this year with the offensive line? I mean, are there new additions to the offensive line? I mean, what has changed?
So partly that there's new additions, but there's also losses as well. You got to remember, Nate Solder went on to the New York Giants. Since he went on to the New York Giants, now Brady's blind side is a little bit unprotected. They did draft a tackle in the first round, in Isaiah Wynn, but unfortunately he got hurt in preseason, so he won't. So we will not see him for the entire season. So. That's what it comes down to. He was supposed to protect Brady's blind side. Now, they do have Marcus Cannon. They did extend Shaq Mason as well. But as I said, Marcus Cannon just got back. I mean, Dante Scarnecchia is arguably one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. But it's just that I think that for him, he's going to have to really shuffle some guys around week to week. Because the problem is, what I didn't like about that Lions game is that they didn't have Ezekiel Ansah, and they had like 4 sacks. and that's a problem. And mind you, Haloti Ngata is not there, so there's really nobody. There's nobody on that D line that should have been getting to Brady. Nobody should have been getting back there, but they were getting back there. And Matt Patricia, hats off to him. He got to win over his former coach, and put it bluntly, I mean, Matt Stafford, he didn't really do anything pretty, because he didn't. He just happened to look good against New England because the defense didn't do their job. We couldn't get no pressure. They're really missing Trey Flowers. Their best pass rusher from last year. He came alive when he finally started, and then he got like 6 sacks at the last 4 games of the season. So he was very, very, they're very high on him. But unfortunately, he got hurt. Now he's supposed to come back, if not this week, the week after, and hopefully he'll play the entire season. And then if he's still playing, that'll help that D line tremendously. And Dante Hightower, there's an APB out on him. Because I saw him in the game, but I didn't see him make any plays. Not one. And Stephon Gilmore, I mean, he can only do but so much. And I mean, and the secondary, they can only do but so much. I mean, they were strapping as best as they could. But when you're not getting no pressure, I mean, I'm sorry, your corners are not going to be able to hold up that long. I mean, they're great, but they're not going to, your corners can't hold up that long.
So is the problem that they're not motivated enough? At the start of the game, or is it does this have something to do with the practices?
I think it has a lot to do with practice, because they're not executing well, they're not playing well, because that Jaguars game, it was very obvious that game. It wasn't the old line in that particular game. That one was straight up receivers, because receivers couldn't get open worth their life. So the Jaguars game was one thing, but this game then it was an offensive line. This game and the receivers, because the receivers couldn't get open. I mean, the fact that every team all this season, including that Texans game, they all double team Gronk, and then everybody else they just played them 1-on-1. Told me all I need to know. I'm like, that's why this week with Josh Gordon coming into the situation, if he's grasped that playbook and they can get him into a lot of plays, it's really going to open things up for New England, because of the fact that now you can't leave him by himself. You can't leave Gronk by himself either. So you can double team those two if you want to, but then that means that somebody else might get open. Because the good thing about Patriots receivers is that sometimes, depending on the matchup, like if those two are doubled, then what'll happen is somebody who's 1-on-1 might be able to get open.
Yeah, well, that seems like it would work once Josh Gordon is in the lineup. But you know what? I've seen on many occasions where you bring a superstar in or all-star in, and the chemistry, it just doesn't work. So there's a chance that this will work, but there's also a chance that the season will continue to down spiral with Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that chance to do that, but at the end of the day, these guys still got to go out and play. They still got to execute. I mean, regardless who the personnel is, and Bill Belichick is the type of coach where it's always next man up. It doesn't matter who it was. I mean, you saw it when Brady was suspended for 4 games. They had Jimmy Garoppolo, and then when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, they put in Jacoby Brissett. Was still winning football games. It comes down to next man up, and I think that they've kind of gotten away from that. But I think they'll get back to it. But if they lose this game against Miami, then I would definitely tell every New England fan, you need to hit the panic button.
My sources tell. Well, let me not put my sources involved. Let me not get my sources involved in this. But I'm telling you now that if this continues to happen in New England will probably. I'm going to say Tom Brady will not end his career as a Patriot. I think New England. I think he would be on the trading block.
Yeah, Brady ain't gonna let that happen. He will probably retire before that even happens.
Well, I mean, when you think about, New England putting him on the block and how how he's going to feel about that, and how he felt about the things in the past with the Patriots organization and the coaches. I mean, he may say, you know what, I'll go here. I'm going to play for them for 2 years, and every time I get a chance, I'm gonna whoop the New England Patriots butts. But I just think that. Starting off, the New England Patriots after the first 6 games, 2-4. 2-4 is not going to set right with that organization. So they're going to be looking to do something to kind of mix the pot up. I mean, you look at Tom Brady and you say, okay, well, Brady got maybe 2 more years with us. We need to start looking for his replacement anyway. So,
Right.
so let's get what we can get for him. So I'm looking to see what happens with that organization if they end up 2-4 or worse.
I hear you on that. So, what do you think our picks are going to be this week?
Our picks are going to be great.
You think your picks are going to be great?
Well, we've called some major upsets.
Yeah, we did.
And
Sure did.
So some of you all out there that has won some money off of our picks, send us a soda pop or something. Bring a soda pop into the studio.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and move forward real quick. Because here's the thing. I mean, it's going to be fun. Week 4. I wonder what this is going to be fun. All right, so the Rams already beat the Vikings, so we don't even need to pick that. And the sad part is, I was going to pick the Rams in that one anyway, because I'm sorry, I got that team going to the Super Bowl, and they're undefeated. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl this year. They got the defense, they got the offense. I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders. I don't let that Vikings game fool me just because they gave up 31 points in that game. That was a team that I hate to say. I kind of expected it to be a high-scoring game. I expected it. So, Jets and Jaguars. I'm not even thinking about that. That's. I think you and I can come to a general consensus on that one.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to disrespect the Jets like that.
You're not going to disrespect them?
No, I'm not. I'm going to say the Jaguars will win, but they won't cover the spread. So, I'm looking at maybe a 4-point game, but I'll pick the Jaguars to win.
Okay. This is the Dolphins and Patriots. Going to go with the Patriots. Again, this time they're playing at home. They're in front of their home crowd. They were on the road the last 2 games, so they come back home. I don't think the Dolphins will beat them, but I do believe it will be close. I think it's going to be highly close, actually. So I'm gonna give them one last shot, and if they lose this one, I just don't even know what to say. I got Patriots winning that one 31-27.
So what we have here is we have a trash can that we've put trash in, paper in, and wood in, and we've built up a big fire.
Right.
You've put your hand over the fire one time and you said, oh, that's kind of warm. Then you stuck your hand in and you said, oh, that burns. So now, are you saying that you're going to stick your hand back in there and leave it in there for a couple of extra seconds?
I have to.
When will you learn?
I'm not going to learn because I have to have faith. I have to have faith, but I'm not going to act like this Dolphins team is not better because I've noticed that ever since they got rid of a few bad apples on that team has been a little bit better. As Ryan Tannehill's not forcing it all over the place, so they are playing pretty well. And then on defense, they're getting after it. I mean, I have to say they're getting after the quarterback. They're making some interceptions. They've caused a few fumbles. So I'm not gonna lie, the Dolphins are looking pretty good right now because ever since Ndamukong Suh left, they've been better. But I mean, Ndamukong Suh made the Rams D line better. So I mean, at the end of the day, these guys just gotta execute.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I have no faith in the New England Patriots at this point. So the Dolphins will win that game.
All right. Eagles, Titans. I mean, the Titans are at home. Eagles marching in. As much as I want to disrespect the Eagles, my heart says the Eagles are going to win this one on the road because after what I saw last week from the Titans, I mean, the Titans are the Titans. They beat the Jags. They beat the Texans. But I'm not so sure they got enough firepower to beat the Eagles, even though they're at home. I'm not so sure.
Well, my heart tells me to go with the Titans, but I'm gonna play the odds and I'm gonna go with the Eagles. But I'm going to say that it's going to be a really, really close game, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Titans actually pulled this one out.
All right, so Texans Colts. That one's a toss-up to me, but I'm definitely gonna go. I'm gonna roll with the Colts on this one. I think Andrew Luck is gonna get it together. I think he's gonna light them up because let's be honest, the Texans ain't got no corners, and can't nobody cover T.Y. Hilton. I think it's gonna be the battle of the receivers, but I think that Andrew Luck is definitely gonna pull it out. I got Colts winning that one.
Well, I'm gonna take Houston. Yeah,
Texans.
yeah. I've been on their bandwagon since week 1, so I'm gonna stay with the Texans.
All right. Now let's see. Bills and Packers. Well, I don't trust the Packers after what I just saw last week, and after what the Bills did to the Vikings this week. Do I think they could duplicate that performance again? I don't know. But then again, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers lose twice. Twice back to back either. So I'm gonna roll with the Packers. I gotta go with the Packers in this one.
Okay, New York. You all are not gonna like this. Some of you will, and some of you won't. My pick is Bills. Bills, Bills, Bills. Sorry about that, Jets fans.
You are disrespectful. Lions and Cowboys. Oh, that's not even I'm not even gonna think about that one. I got the Lions winning that one. The Cowboys can't even get out of their own way. Jerry Jones don't know what he want to do with his life. Mr. Jones, you better call Dez. Dez is still out there. He's waiting for that phone call. Give him a call, man. I got Lions.
Mr. Jones, do not call that man because that's what he wants you to do so he can turn you down. You can give him a call and he's going to say, no, I am not coming back to play for you all. What you need to do, Mr. Jones, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what you need to do because that goes against everything that I believe in. I will never pick the cow people to win.
You know you ain't right.
I'm going with the Lions.
All right, there's a Bucks Bears. I got the Bears winning that one. Even though Jameis Winston comes back this week, that Bears defense is something special. That defense is something special. I mean, Prince Amukamara is playing while Kyle Fuller's doing his thing. Khalil Mack is the truth. I mean, you know, they got a pretty decent D line, and then you know the linebackers is just coming alive. I got the Bears winning that one.
So Winston is coming back.
Yeah,
but he's not playing.
They don't know yet.
If Winston plays, then I'll have to go with the Bears. But as long as Fitzpatrick is in the lineup and he's hot, I'm staying with Fitz. You got to stay with the hot hand. Yeah. So I'll take Tampa.
Yeah, well, Fitz, you know, definitely lost last week, so you know that didn't go so well. 2-1 now. Just remember that.
Yeah, that's still a hot hand.
So,
still a hot hand.
All right, Bengals, Falcons. I mean, Matt Ryan versus Andy Dalton, MVP versus non-MVP. AJ Green versus Julio Jones. Well, I gotta roll with the Falcons in this one. The Falcons are playing at home. The defense, that offense is just too much firepower for the Bengals to handle. However, I'm not gonna act like it ain't gonna be close because one thing I do know about the Falcons, because I saw this in the Eagles game, for some odd reason, they're no different than New England. When they face a very ferocious D line, that's the end of Matt Ryan.
Well, for you all 35 and over, you may know this. WKRP in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati. What's Cincinnati?
Okay.
I mean, there's a 6-point spread on that game. So, you know, I'll take the Bengals and just give me 3.
Okay. All right, next one, Seahawks. I don't even know why that's even a question. Seahawks, because the Cardinals right now, they ain't got no quarterback. They still trying to find. I honestly think that team is still trying to find their identity ever since, you know, Coach Arians have retired. I really think they're trying to find their identity. I mean, I kind of wish he hadn't retired because I honestly think that them going 6-10 wasn't that bad. But it's like you just had Carson Palmer as your quarterback, and I mean, you're just gonna draft a new one, get him ready, but he stepped away from the game, so I got Seahawks winning that one.
Okay, this is your first upset of the week. Cardinals.
All right.
Arizona. By 3.
All right, rated. I cannot believe I'm about to say this. I got the Cleveland Browns winning.
You know what? I don't blame you for taking the Cleveland Browns. They play some pretty impressive football thus far. But here we go again with this black and silver. You know, are they ready? And I'm almost certain that this game is going to be a twilight game, isn't it? It's not going to. This is not a day game. No. It's not a 1 p.m. start.
Nah.
So we're talking about the pressure of playing the Oakland of the lights and the black and silver. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders on this one.
Right. Saints, Giants. That one is going to be interesting to me because isn't Mark Ingram supposed to be coming back?
Mm-hmm.
And Alvin Kamara is playing well. Michael Thomas is a really good receiver. However, I know I love Marcus Lattimore because I love me some Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I also know Marcus Lattimore ain't strapping OBJ, so I'm gonna roll with the Giants in this one. I got the Giants winning this game.
I respect your pick. I do not think that the Giants can match the New Orleans Saints score for score. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to pick the Saints, and it would not surprise me if this game is won by the Saints by 10 points or better. Saints.
All right. Niners, Chargers. I'm gonna have to roll with the Chargers. I don't even think about it anymore because Niners don't have a quarterback. I'm sorry, Jimmy Garoppolo being hurt is definitely gonna help them. Hurt them, and then Richard Sherman, he's out, so that makes it even worse. So defensively, you're gonna have a void that you're gonna need to fill, and then on the offensive side of the ball, your quarterback position is now in trouble because if it was Jimmy G, I'd have been like, I would have gave the Niners by an edge, but not with that Chargers firepower.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got the Chargers as well.
Ravens, Steelers. All right, Ravens fans, don't get mad at me. Actually, y'all might love me at this one. Ravens. I'm rolling with B more. I am rolling with B more.
Why?
Steelers right now, they don't know what they want to do with their lives because I'm sorry, Le'Veon Bell, they about to trade him. So they about to trade Le'Veon. They think that James Conner is going to be their savior at running back, which I don't even believe because I just don't trust the dude. So I'm sorry. I just don't. No. And then Ben Roethlisberger, like I said, he's still trying to figure it out. He's just trying to throw it all over the place. He got Sam, there's a Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown. Congratulations. That's great. But I don't think you're going to beat Baltimore because Baltimore is on fire.
Well, the Ravens are on fire. They have a pretty good team this year.
Yes.
But the Steelers have to stand up. This is the week when the Steelers say, hold up. We're still relevant. We're still here. Had a couple of bad weeks, but here we go. I'm going to take the Steelers over the Ravens this weekend.
Okay. And last one, Chiefs, Broncos, Chiefs.
Are you seriously picking the Chiefs because of this this quarterback, the second-year quarterback?
The Broncos got lit up by the Chiefs last year, and they're going to be lit up by them again this year.
What did they play last year? They have to go up. They have to go into Denver.
That's fine. And they're going to march right into Denver. They're going to march right into Mile High, and they're going to beat this, and they're going to smack the living lights out of them. I'm sorry. Because, look, let's just be honest about it, okay? I don't think everybody's paying attention to this. Unless Von Miller has the game of his life, which he's probably not, because that offensive line is going to automatically locate 58. Locate him. I'm sorry, they're not going to win because Chris Harris, don't trust him. He's not going to cover Tyreek Hill. Not one-on-one he is. You better double him. And then Conley, he's not a bad receiver, so I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with him either. But did you not see what Travis Kelce did last week? Travis Kelce is playing lights out, so who's going to stop that? The dude is basically Rob Gronkowski, just in a different uniform. Matter of fact, he said it himself. He said, if I had Tom Brady as my quarterback, I would easily be the number one tight end. But he don't. But now he's got Patrick Mahomes, who's lighting it up. 13 touchdowns, no interceptions in the first 3 games.
So you don't think that all comes to an end this weekend?
No, it ain't.
Well,
I think they're gonna go 4-0 before they finally get a loss.
If you're putting your money on this game, take Denver and at 5 points. Don't be surprised if Denver just wins outright. I got the Broncos.
That's your story, and you sticking to it, sir?
I'm sticking to it.
All right. Real quick, folks, we're gonna go ahead and just move on real quick in the interest of time today. So, right now, I want you guys to go ahead and share it. But we got to talk about these two guys right here. So, this past boxing weekend, I want you guys to understand this. I was able to attend some great boxing matches this past Saturday on the 22nd, which my man V. Alonte Sly as a Fox had killed it this weekend. He won an 8-round bout. Is another fighter that was out of Brooklyn. Guy was 29-10-1. So matchup wise, it sounded pretty good because Fox was 23-1-1 is it going into that matchup, and the good thing is about Fox is, I watched that bout. The first round, ladies and gentlemen, as if from what I can describe to you guys, he looked pretty good in the very first round of that match. Second round, though, he struggled a little bit because the thing about Fox is because he's 6'4" and about $160 in the middleweight class, a lot of fighters don't like fighting him because he's tall. He's got a very, very long reach. Struggled a little bit because what the other guy's strategy was trying to get in closer so that way his reach was nullified. Mm-hmm. But eventually, after the two boxers ended each round, Fox was able to take it home in the 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds of that match, and then he won the fourth round out of that match, and then the other guy won the 5th round. I want to say he won the second and third rounds too, but Fox took it home in the last 3, and he looked extremely well. And the thing is, he was throwing a lot of punches mainly with his left arm because that was the arm that he had surgery on. And so, ladies and gentlemen, he even said it after the fight, when I was able to interview him. He is coming for Triple G. He's coming for those guys, and he wants to have that opportunity to fight. But he's gonna try to get a couple of more fights in in his weight class in order to win. So that way he has that opportunity to fight those guys. He is now 24-1-1. Be ready for this guy. And then this man, Greg Outlaw, is down there in the featherweights. But that man, he won by decision. 6-0 now, two knockouts in his career. Guy is on his way to greatness. I can't wait to see what he does when he keeps on climbing up that ladder in that weight class. But these two guys winning the way they won, doing the things that they do, it was great. It was great to see them in the ring, but it was especially great to see Fox back in the ring because it has been a while for him to be in the ring because you got to remember he was out for at least 11 months.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in other news, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere on the No BS show.
No BS.
Let me take this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, Mr. Unregulated. You know what I always think is funny? I always find a lot of things to be funny nowadays because you know what I find is funny? I like how you know the trade is it there was rumors going around reported by Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, and all these guys that supposedly the Raiders and the Patriots were interested in Colin Kaepernick, but I'm like, let's be honest about it. We all know the real reason why they interested, and then the Bleach Report put it out there, and I'm like, here's the problem with that. As much as people would like to see him back in the NFL, there's one reason why I don't want him back in the NFL. Let me explain why. Because a lot of people are going to call me crazy on this. The reason why I don't want him back in the NFL, folks, is because of the fact of the matter is this. He still has his collusion case filed against the NFL. I hate to say this, if he goes back, then what'll happen is it'll nullify his case against them for collusion. So why would I want to go back to that? And then on top of that, you're going back to another toxic environment. They've already shunned you and all this other stuff. Now, if he goes to the Patriots, that's going to be very, very interesting because, I mean, they will need a quarterback. I mean, Brady is getting old and he's a little bit younger. And, I mean, he still got something in the tank. But I don't see why he would go there just because of the fact that, one, you still got your case going on. You want that CBA torn up so that way you can change it up. And then it's, to me, you have to think about the greater good.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I say you have to think about the greater good because the problem is in this situation, if you go back, you prove is it, and then next thing you know, you go to court, guess what? Judge is going to be like, well, you got hired. So how is it collusion and you got hired? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's why they're doing this. And I think there was a little backroom deal. This is just me being in the art of conspiracy theories. I think there was a little backroom deal somewhere with Roger Goodell and maybe a couple of owners probably got together and said, you know what? Since we don't want this protest to go, since we don't want this case to go any farther than what it has gone, I think we need to have him get signed to somebody because that way we can put an end to it. And then in breaking news as of yesterday, I don't know if everybody knows, Eric Reid just got signed by the Panthers, who was Kaepernick's teammate, who also protested and filed a collusion claim against the NFL for his protests as well. And now all of a sudden he's playing for the Carolina Panthers. Let's be honest, we know what it is.
Well, you know, with Kaepernick, he has started a movement.
Yes.
You can't give up on that movement now because I mean, then nothing has been accomplished but for your own benefit.
Right.
You know, we need to look at the other people in the NFL their rights are being violated, and the people that you know, the kids that will eventually come up and be given an opportunity in the league. We need to make sure that we set and lay the foundation for these kids and for these future players. But you know, if Kaepernick was to sign with a team, there has to be something said in his contract. Will I be required to stand? Can I kneel if I want? So I mean, there's a lot that's going to have to be negotiated. Now, if the NFL and Donald Trump, you know, thinks that it's disrespectful to kneel, if they're going to give him another opportunity to be in the league, will they request of him that, you know, you must stand?
I mean,
and if he does agree to that for a couple of $1 million, then, you know, like I said last week, I'll never speak his name again because, one, you gave up on the movement, you've turned your back to your people, and it's all because of your own benefit. That's the problem in the world today. One person benefit. You know, it's a community. It's about a group of people. You know, it's about doing what's right. And if you don't have that in you, you know, for a couple of million, you know, just to get a couple of millions of dollars, then I mean, you know, go out there and break a leg.
Look, at the end of the day, I think, like I said, Article 17 says if they prove collusion, Bye bye CBA. It's literally as simple as that. So, if I'm Kaepernick, I would say thanks, but no thanks.
Turn your phone off.
Matt, yeah, turn your phone
Yeah,
off.
that way they can't say they tried.
Yeah, they can't say that they tried, you know. And don't is it? But Kaepernick's lawyer, I would start piping down. I would be like, nope, we're gonna go forward with this case. It's already on the docket. We're just waiting to see a judge because that's really what it's coming down to right now. As of right now, they're just waiting to see a judge. Is it just like any other case, that goes as it goes before a federal court?
Now, what does it take to prove collusion? I mean, you have a quarterback that the numbers say he should be a starting quarterback in the league, but he's not even in the league.
Okay, so the way it works, especially in Article 17 of the CBA, the current CBA that was started back in 2011, it specifically states, in order for him to prove a collusion claim, he has to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that at least 4 or more clubs have done a concerted effort to stop him from getting a job that is not based on football. So, for example, they can't say that he can't get a job because unless it's a football reason. So, if it was a football reason, like say he in that season that before he got kicked out the league, pretty much, he instead of him throwing 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, he throws only 4 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. They can justify that because that's a football reason, because obviously he did not play well. That's not the case here. He threw 16 touchdowns and 4 picks. Yes, they lost games, but his numbers but his touchdown to interception ratio was up there with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Phillip Rivers. So he was up there with the top 3 quarterbacks when it came to touchdown to interception ratio. So that's why the football argument is out the window. So, and it also has to prove, because there's another element to it, is that he also would have to prove through like emails, text messages, that these teams did not want him on this team that is not football. In his case, he's going to prove that because he's got emails, at least so his lawyer claims that they have emails, text messages, things like that. They also they've got all these different owners, and then also with the fact that every time he went in for a workout, they didn't even ask him about football. They just asked him about his protests. So therefore, it's obviously not a football reason. So if he could prove that it was 4 or more clubs, which in his case it was definitely 4 or more clubs. It's probably all 32.
32 clubs.
Yeah, it's probably all 32 clubs, which makes it even worse. Then what'll happen is in Article 17 of the CBA, and this is just his one player. It literally states one player. That's all it takes to prove that the CBA will have to be immediately terminated and suspended, and that the remainder of the NFL season of that season will have to continue on, and then after that season is over, they will not have a CBA anymore. So then, these guys who was talking about locking out, like Todd Gurley and those guys, they can do that now, because then at the point they don't have a CBA.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm just hoping that Mr. Kaepernick, stand up and embrace the backing of the people around the country, around the world who watches the NFL or who supports the National Football League, exactly. for positive change.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just hard. Like I said, it's just sad. But it is what it is. And I firmly believe Kaepernick will have a job, but I don't think he's going to get a job until after he proves his case. That's what I believe is going to happen. So, it is what it is. Real quick, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got some more things to talk to you guys about, so don't go anywhere on No BS Show.
Ohio State, Kaepernick, your OC.
And we're back, folks. Ladies and gentlemen. NBA preseason is here. NBA preseason is here.
The game that we all love.
So, here's the thing, ladies and gents. I think this is going to be funny because Celtics Hornets play tonight. Mm-hmm. It's preseason. They'll get a little bit of, as the starters will get a little bit of playing time. We already know that. I mean, they're going to be limited, though. Same thing with the Warriors. Warriors are going to do the same thing. A lot of your big teams are going to just limit some of their guys' playing time in this preseason because they want to make sure that they have guys ready for when the regular season starts in October. Here's the situation, though. When I looked at the state of the NBA, I just have one question. Who's going to beat Boston in the East, and who's going to beat the Warriors in the West?
Are you seriously asking that question?
I really am asking that question. Who's going to beat them?
The Washington Wizards will beat the Celtics in the East. Yes.
Oh man,
you honestly
listen
think
to
that the Celtics?
Did you just say that blasphemy? You cannot be serious. You really cannot be serious. You're dead serious.
I'm so serious.
Yeah, yep, you're right. You are dead. He is dead serious. Okay.
Did you hear what Bradley Beal and John Wall said at the media day?
I don't care less.
We're not doing no more talking. We're not doing any talking.
That's fine.
This is it.
That's funny because I haven't heard a peep from the Celtics, but I've been hearing everything come out of the Wizards though, because they the ones doing all the talking.
Pick up the Boston Globe. You'll hear it.
Yeah, they've been contradicting themselves. Like they said they ain't doing no more talking, but yet still they are talking.
But the
Celtics on the other hand, you ever heard a peep from
when
them?
they said that was the last time. That was the last thing you heard. Mm-hmm. We're not doing no more talking. It was a question asked, and we're not doing no more talking. This is it. Mm-hmm. The East belongs to the Wizards.
Yeah,
it belongs to the Wizards. Now, Boston has a great team, but when you look at the matchups in the past 2 seasons with the Wizards and the Celtics,
yeah,
with the addition of Dwight Howard, the addition of Jeff Green, and Austin Rivers,
okay,
you're not going to tell me that you're not going to put the Wizards in a position where as though they're neck and neck with Boston,
because they're not.
You don't think so?
No, not even a little bit. The only team, honestly, if I'm going to say that there's a team that's close, and there's really only 2 of them.
Don't say the Sixers. Please don't say the Sixers.
I wasn't going to say the Sixers. Actually, no, I was. I was going to say the Sixers, because the Sixers actually had a decent record last year, and they got the same team coming back. And Markelle Fultz is going to be healthy. Mm-hmm. And then I was going to say the Bucks, because the Bucks gave Boston some real problems last year. That was without Kyrie Irving, though. But the Bucks gave him some real problems because the Greek Freak is
that guy like Inspector Gadget from anywhere.
Greek Freak did his thing. Then Middleton and Bledsoe, I mean that team had a pretty decent bench, so I expect that team to come back strong. However, the Celtics starting 5. The reason why I don't even remotely have the Wizards even coming that close is because the Wizards can't get out of their own way. First off, let's be honest about this. John Wall's not going to strap Kyrie Irving. Now, if Kyrie Irving happens to leave Boston before the trade deadline, then we'll have a different conversation. But let's be honest, John Wall's not strapping Kyrie Irving. Then let's also talk about Bradley Beal.
You have the competitive nature of John Wall.
That's fine. He's still not strapping him. Next, and then let's talk about Bradley Beal. Okay, Bradley Beal, fine. We'll let you get your points, but then here's the problem. Who's going to stop Jason Tatum? Who's going to stop Jaylen Brown? Better yet, who's going to stop Gordon Hayward? Oh, wait. But then you said Dwight Howard. Mister, I like to get into it with everybody in the locker room himself, and you think he's going to stop who? Al Horford? He ain't stopping nobody. Nobody is worried about the Washington Wizards in the East. Nobody. If you really believe that, by all means. And by the way, Mr. Andre Melton, shout out to you. And Mr. Jabari Manuel, shout out to you both. But Mr. Melton says he's clearly on the tree with that statement when you said the Wizards were going to be in contention.
You know what? We're not going to do no more talking.
Okay.
We gonna see. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Dwight Howard is an animal. He's a feared animal. Horton.
He's a feared animal who couldn't cut it in L.A. or the Rockets, though.
Well, I mean, there's always another side to every story. I mean, it is.
No. This guy... There's no reason why you should be bouncing from team to team. Heck, even the Hawks said, we don't want this dude. The Hawks was like, we don't want this dude. And that's supposed to be his
They're not ready to win.
No.
This man wants to win.
I'm sure he does.
Everywhere he's
What are you
been,
talking about? He just went. He
wants-
came from a winning team. He was with the Rockets.
He wants to
You
win, and
couldn't
he
have
wants to be
won
a
better than
part.
that.
He wants to be a part of the winning team. He has an opportunity right now to be a part of a team that can win. John Wall, Bradley Beal, Kelly Oubre. This is a team.
Did he not have James Harden? Is it Chris Paul?
Yeah,
Trevor
but his
Ariza?
role
Did he not have Capella? I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question.
They showed that man no respect up there. His role there was okay, Dwight. Stand in the middle and try to block shots. Here in DC, Dwight Howard's role is not only okay, you're a big body in the middle. We're depending on you to get us 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. We're depending on this. And if he can do that, the East belongs to the Washington Wizards, folks. Stephen A. Smith, back me up.
Blasphemous words out of his mouth.
See my phone going off now. That's Stephen.
I'm pretty sure it is blasphemous words. The Wizards are not going to beat the Celtics. Maybe in the next lifetime they'll beat the Celtics. They're just not going to beat them right now. Well, not with Brad Stevens as the head coach. Not with all those young guys that got there. Y'all don't even have the bench to even play out with Boston. Okay,
look at the additions that they made this year. The new faces on this team, and then I didn't even mention the rookie Troy Brown.
Nobody
when you look,
cares about Troy Brown.
Nobody
cares about Austin Rivers.
When you look at the people that are on this team,
Austin Rivers. Did he even start for the Clippers?
Yeah, he was a starter, but there's an upgrade at every position. There's a bench. There are people that can come off your bench and hold it down. John Wall and Bradley Beal can sit on the bench. Jeff Green can score. Dwight Howard can take over. Austin Rivers can score. Kelly Oubre, from what I've been hearing about Kelly Oubre and seeing the video of Kelly Oubre, he's ready to break out. Otto Porter may not be a Wizard the whole season. He may end up getting traded.
Well, he should have been traded anyway. That's why I didn't even bring his name up, because he's that irrelevant to me. So you see my
Porter?
point? Yeah.
Now, we talked about this maybe a month ago, and I told you that this is Otto Porter's year. Now, I'm saying he may be traded because Oubre has gotten that much better, and then with the $128 million contract that he got, you may want to move him. But I'm telling you, Otto Porter, this may be your MVP of the team.
We'll see. In the interest of time, folks, we're going to move on to the NFL again. This is our last one of the day. Clay Matthews said in an interview after the game with the Washington Redskins about his sack again on Alex Smith. He said, quote, "The NFL is going soft." Mr. Regular, your thoughts?
First of all, Mr. Matthews, I don't like the fact that you got close to Alex Smith. The next time you're going to have to see a Trent Williams, or you're going to have to see an AP coming out the backfield to hold that block up. You got lucky that time, sir. It won't happen again. But no, in all serious, I think the NFL, I think these linebackers and linemen and these safeties that are blitzing, they need to be able to hit the quarterback, because if you don't put a hit on the quarterback, and we see this with Big Ben all the time, you're going to bounce off of him.
Right.
You're not going to be able to bring him down. It was not a head. It's not a head shot.
It really wasn't.
And then to take him down. Would you rather for your quarterback to be taken down like that and the weight put on him, or would you rather for him to come up to, I can't take him down like that, and boom, and belly slam him? Then so what's the? Pick your poison.
And here's the thing. Even Tony Dungy said it on Sunday Night Football before the Lions game. He said when he saw that sack, he said the first thing he said is it's virtually impossible for any defender to have to shift their body weight to bring down the quarterback without trying to not only hurt them or hurt themselves and still make the play. It's impossible. Yeah. You can't do it. The NFL's really got to fix it. But I honestly know what this is. It's because Roger Goodell, he's afraid of a lawsuit. It is what it is. I've come to realize that this is the NFL that he's going to turn it into. I'm like, at this point, the offense might as well wear skirts.
Well, put flags on the quarterback.
Yeah, put flags on the quarterback. Just put flags on the quarterback.
Ridiculous.
And then that'll be the end of that. And we're not even going to have this conversation no more because, I'm sorry, it mind boggles me how last season there were only 9 penalties, 9 roughing the passer calls by week 3. This past week 3, there were 21 roughing the passer penalties. 21. That is ridiculous. 21? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, you're taking football out of football. If this is what it's coming to, why am I going to watch it? Why am I watching it? Just to see the quarterback throw the ball to a wide receiver 40 yards down the field? I mean, that's going to get old. I'm looking for these linebackers to get in there and get that quarterback. I want these defensive linemen, to fight, push, get the quarterback.
Right.
I want that safety to blitz, get the quarterback. That's what football is about. If you're taking that away, get the fans their money back. The season ticket holders, give them their money back.
You might as well start refunding everybody their money. And then on top of that, because I hate to say this, sometimes I like seeing a defensive game. Because then that shows me that, we still got some defense in this NFL. I mean, I love seeing it. But unfortunately, this is the direction that Roger Goodell wants to go. And this is part of the reason why I have said this before on record. I said this before you was on the show. I'm going to say it again. Roger Goodell needs to be fired. His contract needs to be terminated. It needs to be torn up. And they need to find a new commissioner. And I think they need to find one fast. Because the viewership of the NFL is not going to be the same with this man as commissioner. Sorry. To me, he's no different than Donald Trump. The only difference between the two of them is that one is not tweeting as much. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, that is all that we have today, folks. Because we are out of time. So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. And right now, we're only at but so much. So I want you guys to go to the YouTube channel, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. And then I want you to join our Facebook group of viewers. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group. I want you fans to comment, please, especially since I want you guys. And again, for this week, what I want you guys to do is send either me or Mr. Tennant right here a message stating what topic you guys want us to debate, and we will definitely be willing to do that for you, and we will debate that sports topic. So go ahead and just let us know that, and we will definitely got you guys. I want you guys to follow our blog on Blogger, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk, blogspot.com. And then also, I want you to follow us on social media. You can find me as Shane Hector on Facebook, insane_Shane29. On Twitter, Underground SB29, Shiz_29, No BS, No Holds Barred on Instagram, and then undergroundsportsllc.blogspot.com. And also look up for my articles as well, because I definitely posted an article this week about the boxing. And Mr. Tennant, what is your social media, sir?
My social media, get that quarterback! I am sick! Get the quarterback! You can reach me on Instagram. Let me calm down just a little bit. Instagram, I created an Instagram just for you all. It's Mr. Unregulated for you. Also, I have a personal Instagram page which you all, can go to. I'm happy to have you all there. It's Father Daddy 3, and on Facebook, it's my name, simply Dana Tennant.
Okay, and very last but not least, I want you guys, if you guys want to advertise with us, if any businesses out there want to advertise with us, go to undergroundsportsllc@gmail.com, and you guys can advertise with us, and then we can discuss all those details at a later time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Unregulated,
get that quarterback!
No BS is out of the building. Peace! And we ended just on time, too. Because we started at 2:30.
I can't believe this. I mean, I work hard all week